I'm here to share some of the experience I have with Facebook Messenger, with the work with my clients, with the community. But I'm also here to make some friends, so I'm really eager to chat and talk afterwards. This type of events are all about networking and connection, and I'm looking for that connection. So let's start the Messenger show. A few words about me. So Adam basically said a few things about me. For the past 1 year, I've focused my efforts on Messenger as a channel. All the activities I'm doing now are connected with Messenger because I see a huge potential with this platform. Second thing, which is very important, are business models. I think that when we think about Messenger, we shouldn't think about content strategy, marketing strategy, but we should think about business model. And one question right now, what is a business model? Can you ask me this question? What does it mean? Okay, no people to answer. Okay, so it means the way, it's about what value do you offer to your clients, which channels do you use, what kind of partnerships do you have, who are your clients, what are your resources, and what are your key activities that you deliver to your customers. So when you think about Messenger, it's not about social media marketing, it's about business. And my role, what I do right now, is I'm trying to find a way to use Messenger in the whole business of a company. So not only in marketing, but in other activities. So I'm running a Messenger studio. We develop Messenger experiences for our customers. And that's basically a few words about me. Can we move to the other slide? I will just wave my hand like that. So if we talk about, this presentation is going to be not about how to build a Messenger bot, because there's plenty of materials about this. I don't know if this is popular in Czech Republic, but in Slovakia we have really huge Facebook groups and people are sharing their experiences. There's so many manuals online and you can really learn how to build a bot. But there is one thing is missing. People don't know why do they build a Messenger bot. What can they actually do there? And this is the question I'm going to try to answer. When we talk about Messenger bot, we are talking about mobile devices. And 10 years ago, when I started working in the social media industry, people were saying, especially in January, when we have those predictions from marketers, they say, what is it going to be next year? What's going to be the next big trend? And every year, they were saying, the next year is going to be the year of mobile. It became an inside joke. We were making fun of it every year, because every year they were saying, the next year is going to be about mobile. I know we said it last year, it didn't happen, but next year for sure. And they've been saying this all the time. They've been repeating this all the time until they stopped talking about this. So I think that now we have the year of mobile, a few years actually, and we've been using phrases like mobile first when we design the experience of the website, and now we are even using the term of mobile only. So we are only focusing on the experience for the users, for the mobile experience, not about the desktop experience anymore, because some people don't use it. And there are some actually case studies for businesses doing a business only in the mobile space. Let's take a look at Uber. Only because of the App Stores is this business model, this company making such a big progress. Can I have the next slide, please? What is the problem with mobile only and with mobile in general? It is that most of the people install zero new apps per month. Zero is not a big number, right? If you want to get to those screens and you want to follow the strategy of Uber and build your own application for your users to use, this is a very difficult market for you, a very difficult path. People don't want that many apps on their screens. There are some exceptions. For example, in Poland now, a company called Rossmann, you have it also in Germany, in the Czech Republic, but it's a German company. They managed to convince 60% of people, of their customers, to install new app. And this is like one exception. All the other companies, they fail. They have the app, and they don't know how to convince people to use it, to install this app. So it doesn't work anymore. Can I have the next slide, please? So there are some upsides and downsides. These are the most popular social applications on mobile devices. And there is a good information that Messenger is becoming the most important app. In Poland, Messenger is more popular than Facebook on mobile devices. So our strategy for mobile is to put content over there and be there to connect with our customers, not to build our apps. And this is a very also a good information that Messenger could be in some ways a substitution for mobile apps. Can I have the next? Okay, this is, who knows this guy? This guy is called Marshall McLuhan, and he said very important thing. He said that Medium is the message. It's not about the content, but it's about the limitation and possibilities of the platform, of the channel, and it changes the content. So we need to really, I would like you to put this phrase into your mind that the way the interface looks, the user experience, it changes the content. It's very important. Let's take a look at the examples. Okay, so YouTube. YouTube emerged and became a very important, popular platform, and it gave rise to independent television, to new influencers, to new stars. And what is the place for brands? What they had to do? They had to work with those influencers. They have to do this if they want to be there, but they have no power over the content, so they cannot tell this person how to present the product. They cannot do this. What they can do is they can produce commercials, but these commercials are so different than the commercials from television. Television ads don't work on YouTube. You need to convince a person, a user, within the first 3 seconds not to skip the ads. So the whole content needs to be in those first seconds. This is the way how this medium changes the message for brands. Can I have the other example? Facebook has been really good for brands. So we were able to push content to our customers and potential customers, to our fans, at a very large scale. There has been a number of companies that has only a Facebook page. They started just with Facebook page only, and they were doing business. So all of those independent fashion brands, a lot of pubs, restaurants, but other companies as well. But this, unfortunately, and this is also, if you look at the numbers, this is the only social networking sites in the world, among the popular ones, where brands have bigger communities than influencers. So Instagram and YouTube, this is the word for influencers, for independent communities. Here, brands have the biggest communities. So Facebook was really good for us, for marketers, but it has changed, right? It has changed for the past time. And in January, Facebook, even Mark Zuckerberg announced that they are cutting the organic reach for us. So we need to find new ways. And Facebook is not really a great place without budget to promote our products and our brands. Let's go to the other slide. What about Messenger? Messenger hasn't been under the radar of companies for a long time. So brands were passive. They were reading incoming messages, but they weren't active. They weren't proactive. They didn't do any other activities on Messenger because it was impossible until some time ago. Can I have the other slide? When Mark announced we have a Messenger platform, now you can build things that we call bots. And using those bots, you can actually have a conversation with many people at the same time. So now, without employing thousands of people, you can actually interact with your customers at scales. And bots do this. And Mark Zuckerberg had to do this because social apps, so chat apps, became popular than social networking, and he realizes the biggest potential. And he gives plans and he shares plans, the vision that Messenger is going to follow, that bots are going to be big things. And he's inspired by the China example, WeChat. it has already happened there. 2 years ago, 3 years ago, we were just following their footsteps. Okay, so how do these robots, how does this artificial intelligence work? Unfortunately, it's not like in the movie Her. And unfortunately, marketers overpromise. They say, they use the term of artificial intelligence, they say everything is possible, but it's not. And a lot of marketers from the brands, they're working in the brand, they say, show me one well-designed bot. Show me a good messenger experience for the users. And we are getting there. So we are not talking about artificial intelligence. This is not really happening so far. We are talking about intelligent automation. So not AI, IA, or intelligent automation. So we automate conversation in a way to actually provide a value for the user. This is most important. There are some tiny little things where artificial intelligence actually works. I designed a bot using Microsoft services where you can actually take a picture. Let's say I would take a picture right now, and this bot would say, okay, on this picture you can see a group of people sitting on their chair. So this is like a small, tiny place where artificial intelligence can work. With this conversation, it doesn't work yet at scale. Another thing about bots, and this is also a very nice and bad thing, is these are the statistics, the performance of Messenger. If you send a message to your followers on Messenger, this message is read by up to 90% of people. Compare it to an email marketing. Compare it to Facebook, where the reach is 20%, maybe 5%. The newsletter even less. The other statistic which is amazing are clicks, so click-through rate. Email has very poor statistics. Facebook a little bit better, but all the other apps, like for example Snapchat or Instagram, they don't even provide the opportunity for people to click the link. So we don't get our precious visits to our websites. And with Messenger, up to 60% of people who get this message, they click the link and go somewhere and do something what we want them to do. So this is like, when marketers see this, they say, oh my God, I need to be on Messenger and push a lot of content. This is really wrong thing to do. And we need to understand that this is a very short-term strategy. If we do this, our people will not use our bot. They will not be active on Messenger. They will just delay the conversation. And the Messenger is as valuable to you as many people are satisfied from that. And this guy is called Doc Sears. 18 years ago, he wrote this manifesto called Clutcher Manifesto in 2001. And this is still really true. What he said that marketers, beware, internet is a new medium and you shouldn't treat it as television or other traditional media. This is not a television with a buy button on it. And I'm saying the same things to marketers about bots. This is not a television with a buy button. So be cautious, don't send the content to those people because they will be mad at you. Okay, so today I'm going to show you a few bots, a few messenger channels, and a few companies that build their value solely on Messenger. These companies I called messenger-only businesses, and I think they are the best. So we as marketers should learn from them, and I hope there are going to be some valuable lessons from these examples. Okay, Epitome Stylist is a fashion chatbot. What it does, it sends me recommendations every day. What should I wear? It takes under consideration the weather outside and my previous choices. So with each recommendation, the recommendation just gets better. And Epitome knows my taste, and really teaches me how to dress, what's fashionable right now, and what fits me really well. And it's not like a small experiment. Epitome Stylist has now over 1 million active people, and they don't charge for this, so you get all those recommendations for free. They send it like every 3 or 4 days, and these are really personalized recommendations. So there are not two identical users, receivers from these messages. They are different. What the strategy behind this? The strategy is to create a product for fashion brands. Can I have the other slide? So let's say Reserved or other fashion company. They could use similar bots to inspire their customers and actually provide them valuable insight what to wear. Especially, I think it's useful on the internet where you don't have any person to guide you what should you wear and stuff like that. This experience would be amazing for customers, and this is really difficult to build. So I think it's even better to rent to buy this bot from Epitom than build this bot yourself. This is also a good strategy for retail centers, where you could also guide your people to make some better choices. And you can promote your messenger even with stickers nowadays. Okay. Second bot is from the dieting space, food space. What it does, Forksy collects input from you. What have you eaten today? So it asks me, David, what did you have for breakfast? And I type sausages. Sausages again, really? Do you know there is virtually no meat inside sausages? Okay, noted. Sausages. These are 80 calories. I put it on your to your spreadsheet, and actually you can measure how many carbs do you consume, how many protein and fat and stuff like that. So you get all of this for free. Forksy is really nice. She doesn't judge you, or sometimes she judges you, and she just collects this input. So you don't have to remember to open a fitness app and put it yourself. It just asks you. Another slide. Okay, so this is what they do for free. They provide a useful diary, what you eat. The paid option is a diet, an informational product. So what they do is, Forksy is going to tell you what you should eat, what you should do, and you will see results within 5 weeks. They promise that within 5 weeks, your day is going to be longer, about 2 hours. So you have 2 hours more of productive time each day. And this is a big promise. And people actually pay for this. And you can pay for this within Messenger. And everything you get after that is also via Messenger. Okay, so what kind of suggestion, tip, lesson could this be for a company that sells diets? That sell diets, but not informational diets, but really like products. Do you know, is it popular here? I think it's also popular in Czech. I know myself that in Warsaw, there's 300 companies that sell and deliver these kits, these meal kits. So this is like a growing business. So what should they do? Can I have another slide? What they could do, they could offer for free what Forksy offers. So for example, what you should eat every day, because they already have the diet. They already have consultants, they sell this, and they could offer this for free. If people pay for this at Forksy, they will be happy to get this kind of insight on Messenger. Let's say, for example, a 4-week program where every day you get the information what you should buy at the store, how to cook it, how to prepare your meals to get the results. This is for free. But if you are lazy like me and you don't have time, with one button you can get this to your home. Okay? So we are not building a bot just for the customers of this diet meal company, but we are like providing a value for a wide range of people and upselling to them, because one day they're going to be frustrated. One day they're not going to have time to prepare the meal, and they would at this moment of frustration they could buy your product. Okay. Next slide. Another bot. It's called Edwin. And Edwin teaches you English. if you are a foreigner. And you know, it talks to you every day, every few hours with a new word you can learn. Sometimes it asks you questions. It's your personal coach, a personal teacher. And people find it really valuable. What can we learn from a chatbot like this that is so successful? Another slide. Think of habits. What kind of habits do your customers have? Find one thing that you can build a habit around. If you are selling, I don't know, sport equipment, motivate your people to go to the gym, go to the swimming pool. If you are selling books, motivate them to read those books. If you are selling pills, motivate them to take those pills when they wake up or when they... If you are selling toothbrushes to the people who don't really clean their teeth, so for example, I don't know, children, you can also motivate them to clean their teeth. Okay, so find this habit. This is really difficult, but you can do this. It doesn't have to be strictly connected with your business, but somewhere close. Another bot. This is a bot called Foxy. And what this bot is about, it's actually a Tinder on Messenger. So you go there, you select your interest, okay, let's say economy, design, and flowers. And then it matches you with people with similar interests. And it tells you that someone is in your town, a new person, a new users. Actually, it connects you with other people to, I don't know, for friendship. Like on Tinder, we meet for friendship. Next slide. What's the lesson from this? Help your customers connect with each other. This is a strategy that Adam Zbierczuk does here. So he provides some valuable content. He asks people to speak. So you can have something from this, but you also can connect with yourself. And this is a strategy that businesses should do on social media. If you connect, if you improve those connections with people, or you help them establish, you make a barrier of leaving you. For example, this strategy also is done by Facebook. Have you ever tried to delete your account from Facebook? It shows you the pictures of your friends and says, are you going to leave them, really? So if you do the same strategy with your business and you connect those people, let's say you have a gym and there are some people, men and women, you can help them connect with Messenger. It builds bonds between those customers, but also between those customers and you. A really good social media strategy. Next slide. These are three bots, not one. One of them is about cryptocurrencies, the other one is about entrepreneurship, and the other one is about website design. And these bots send me information. What is the worth of Bitcoin or Ethereum? It changes so fast. It's really valuable to me to know about this. The second thing, I don't have time to go through Forbes and read those articles. It gives me headlines, actually summaries of things that are happening right now in the, let's say, technological and entrepreneurship space. It's very useful to me. I read every message from this. The other one shows me example of great design. I also don't have time to do the research every day. So I'm kind of updated on this thing, and I feel really comfortable getting those messages. These three things have in common one thing. Oh, that's good. You've changed this slide. So these businesses are sending to me something I want, something valuable, and how can you like move it or adapt it to the other businesses? Let's say an airline company sends you a message that your flight is delayed. What about the conferences? There is a change of rooms, or the speaker is late. You also have some time to eat your dinner for a few minutes longer. So if you find those things that your customers really want to know, that they want to know instantly, and they really care, if you give them the option to subscribe and deliver the content, deliver the information, they are going to be happy. But this needs to be something really, really important to them. Okay. This is Swelly, and Swelly is a messenger chatbot that asks you questions. What is better, A or B? It shows you two pictures, and you answer the question, what is better? It's A/B testing. They have their own community of 2 million people who answers those questions. What do they use it for? To produce better content for social media, to put better ads. And you could do this on your own. You don't have to use Swelly. You can ask your customers, what do they want? Let's say you produce, I don't know, desserts. So what should be the next flavor? You know, you can do this on Facebook, you can do a poll, right? But you have to do this in public. And people usually form different opinions in public than in private, when they are not judged by their friends. So Messenger can be really good for A/B testing, for getting feedback, for getting those valuable market research from your customers, people who care about you. Okay, so this strategy is really good for Messenger. Next slide. This is Service Doc, and they offer this service only for businesses. It's not a standalone chat, a standalone experience. So what you can do with this? Let's say you have a chain of restaurants, and you print a messenger code on every receipt. And this is printed by your system, and the user gets the information. If you tell me how do you like the service, you'll get a reward. So scan this item, scan this code, answer a few questions, 3 question stops, and get your reward and provide us with valuable feedback. You can limit the number of managers to be on site and care about the value, because you can get the information from your customers. You know the term silent customer, where companies actually pay to other companies to get undercover customer and collect the feedback. So they pay and they get only 1 customer per month to test the experience in the coffee place, or I don't know, bank. Only 1 customer. Here you can get thousands of opinions from your customers for free, or for giving them some small perks like, I don't know, a discount or a small reward. And they don't need to install a new app, they don't need to go to a new website. They just do this within the Messenger, the application that they use every day. So this is collecting feedback at scale as well. Okay, next slide. So today I covered, I don't want to make it longer anymore, I can answer some of the questions. Today I covered startups that solely produce their proposition within Facebook Messenger, only using that. And what can we learn from that? We can learn a lot of things. You can go to my Messenger channel and get those links to those Messenger bots and test it yourself. I will show the link in a few seconds. And I'm going to give those presentations in many places. I gave a presentation last week about a different topic. Next week I'm going to give a presentation in Katowice. And every time I'm talking about different aspects of Messenger. So I'm going to focus on verticals, on industries, how beauty, companies from the beauty industry can leverage Messenger. What about fashion companies, travel companies, retail companies, insurance companies? And I'm going to provide some examples and some tips for that. And each my presentation, each episode, let's say, because I'm calling this a video show, this is recorded, are going to be put on my website and within my Messenger, so you can follow next presentations. I'm going also to give some horizontal presentations about HR in every industry, about loyalty, the B2B sector, is it possible to use on Messenger, and I'm going to give a presentation about influencers. So these are some topics I'm going to cover within next month. Here's the link, messenger.show at the top. If you go to this link, you're going to be able to connect with my bot and receive the updates afterwards, and get the links to the bots I showed you today. So next slide. Thank you very much for your attention. You've been really kind, and I hope to connect with you afterwards. Adam, do I take questions now or not?
Questions, yes.
Okay, questions.
Ptejte se na Messenger, ptejte se teď. Your examples. how did you already made billions of profit of Polish zloty on Messenger?
So one of the greatest examples of our bots, one of the two bots are advising people what kind of perfumes should they use, and what we do is we ask some questions to our users. This bot is a little bit similar to Epitome Stylist, and then advise what perfume is good for that person. And we have a collection of 200 perfumes. We try to really narrow it down. These are Coty perfumes. The other example is for sending valuable insight for traders. We work for XTB brokers, and they provide a service to people who trade stocks. So we send those really important messages, this analysis over Messenger. And when I was really skeptical, I said, really? Are we going to send boring stuff to people with ties over Messenger? It's not going to work. And I was surprised because people actually use it. They subscribe, they want to get Forex messages over Messenger. I'm not here to judge, it simply works. We also did a bot for a company that provides a service of refurbishing valuable bags and shoes, and now their customers don't have to go to the offline place to ask how much does it cost to repair my bag. You can do it over Messenger. With a few minutes you can get a price estimation. You don't have to send emails and stuff like that. And after then you get the information that your shoes or bag is ready to pick up. This is one example. Oh, a great example. There is a company that built an application to tell you what's wrong with your skin. So you with a few answers to questions, you narrow it down, and you actually understand what kind of thing is on your skin. Sometimes it's really nasty. So what we did is we recreated the same experience on Messenger, and with a few questions and answers, and unfortunately pictures, graphic pictures from your body. You narrowed it down, and you get the answer what's wrong with you, and you can actually connect with the doctor as well and get some advice. Until now we've built about 40 bots for 35 different companies. But I don't want to talk too much about myself. So another question, yes?
What about using chatbots as a part of the onboarding experience? So let's imagine that you have a SaaS tool which is for social media managers, and they have a 30 days trial for trying the product.
Okay.
What about linking them in the first welcome email to the Messenger bot instead of sending them email sequences?
This is a great question. So the question was, what about using bots to onboard users? For example, the given example was SaaS tool, where marketers have to understand how to use this tool to make value for them. If you want to really onboard user, they need to see your interface. So this needs to be within your app or within your desktop app, web app. You can actually bring Messenger to a website. You can put this plugin that shows Messenger on your website, but I wouldn't call it really useful for onboarding. I think there are better solutions for onboarding people within your interface, intercom or stuff like that. But I think Messenger is also very valuable, but for something different. Many companies, SaaS companies, they send emails like 2 days after that, 3 days after you signed up, 4 days after you signed up, and they send you some educational content. They send you a manual, a report, an infographic, some tips. And you can actually use Messenger for that to set informational product, I would say, an educational course, and send them updates 3 days after they signed up, 5 days after that, and then each message can have a link to redirect them to your tool. So I say yes, it's good for onboarding, but not directly within your interface. But you know, the same.
Follow-up sequences, like instead of emails.
Yes, instead of emails is Messenger, because you get 90% of your people, not 10% of your people. That's the main reason, the main change. And actually, what is very valuable is if you miss one email, you just simply miss one lesson. If you don't get 3 messages straight from you, and you get the 4th, you still can read the other one, because this is all in one thread. With emails, you just miss the lesson, and here you don't miss the content because it's in one thread. Has any one of you built a bot? Have you tried to build a bot on Messenger?
Or try to use the bot.
Have you tried to use the bot on Messenger? Okay, a few of you. I really want to inspire you to go and click through some of the good examples, because I showed really good examples. They are not like crappy stuff someone did overnight. And if you do this and you understand the value, I think you could really be excited about that. But another thing which is very important, it's really easy to build something not complex on your own. You don't need to have technological experience or background to build a bot. There are frameworks to do that. One of them is ChatFuel, which is most popular. The other one is ManyChats, and you can go there with blocks or even using some templates. Just start a bot for your business or just for a demo. And there's a big community where you can ask questions, how to do this, how to do that. You can connect the bot with external services like Google Drive, documents, and RSS, stuff like that. It's really fun. And frameworks are perfect to build some of the experience.
So if nobody's got another question, I will have the last one. So Attila can start. The last question would be, what do you think is the biggest risk of using chatbots? For example, my idea would be like, what if I'm too successful? I create a bot and somehow it goes viral and you have too many people actually going through, which will eventually somehow not be satisfied with the answers which are pre-built, and they will seek one-to-one conversation. Because we've had last Babeltalk, we've had a very nice example of a chatbot. If you haven't seen it or haven't been there last time, the chatbot was for one of the presidential candidates. But mostly the people were actually they wanted to talk with the candidate himself. So he had a ghostwriter and he was writing all the answers. He said there was like 50 to a couple of 100 chats at a time in like the heated part of the campaign. And while they were very happy about the results, like the open rate, click-through rate, they said that it was really, really hard to keep pace when so many requests to actually chat with a candidate came up. So if we build a chatbot which will have, among others, the option to actually talk to a human person, isn't it a risk somehow? Because people will actually, they are on Messenger, so they will expect a very quick reaction. Is that a risk, or are there any other risks that we should consider if we decide to use chatbots? What would be the biggest risks you have from your experience over those 40 bots? What are the problems?
This is actually a very good question, and I've been asked this question from many times when I meet with companies, with managers, sometimes at C-level, and they ask me, okay, what is going to happen if they are going to ask really questions and we are not going to be there for them? Because David, after 5 p.m. we go home and we are not working. We are lazy guys. So, of course, it's a problem when it comes to customer service. You cannot have, a cake and eat a cake and have a cake. You need to invest in some resources. When it comes to presidential campaign, I think every vote counts. And normally you go to people, you knock on their doors, you ask a permission if you can get in and talk to them, and it takes a lot of time and effort to do that. Here, you're doing this much easier because you don't have to travel, you don't have to ask permission, they want to talk to you. I would invest in a lot of people to actually have conversations with those people. You can help yourself and prepare pre-built answers. So find most popular, most repetitive questions and prepare ready answers. You can use this using Messenger templates within Messenger. Is an option built to Facebook. You can also use a solution by chatbotoo.ai. It's a Hungarian startup. And what they do is they enable you to create this FAQ, so frequently asked questions, this big database. And when the incoming questions comes, it browses, it finds the best answer from the answers you already have in your database. And then the person just reads the questions and says, okay, this is a good answer. They just click. They don't have to really type it. It helps, it saves 70% of time of the community manager. It has been tested by companies like Coca-Cola. So yes, it can save time. But this question you asked me, Adam, is like, let's say I have a retail shop and I sell TVs. And I'm so successful that thousands of people come to my shop. And there's also always a risk about that because, for example, I can expect that because it's, I don't know, promotion day, Black Friday, right? And I have only 10 TVs at my store. And people come and they are unhappy because they cannot buy the TV because I just prepared for 10 people. So I think, it's, if you want to treat this business seriously, you cannot do this like, without resources. You need to invest in it. And this is the only way to do. Another strategy is to be upfront with people. Tell them, this is not a channel run by this politician or by a manager from this brand. This is a bot. I'm just a bot. You can create a brand hero and say, I'm just a little bot who learns all the time. I'm just a technological creature, and I cannot answer all of your questions. I can redirect you to a person, but sometimes you just need to wait because now, currently, a person is not available, and you can answer different. You can give these answers when it's 3 a.m. or it's the weekend. You don't have the stuff. You can say, guys, now there's no one here to answer you. Be upfront, and we will understand that. But you need to be upfront. You cannot cheat them and say this is actually a channel managed by a person like a politician. Okay. Thank you very much.
Any questions?
Any questions? Okay.
So.
Thanks a lot. Dawid will be here for some